What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a subscriber story that was sent in about biting. And you know, it's not the usual kid giving a chomp to another kid type of vibe. Instead, today we've got a story time about a kid that let the saliva fly onto his teacher when he got pissed off at him instead. And listen, just some general life advice. I wouldn't recommend biting your teachers, alright, giving them a taste. I've got a feeling they'd probably taste pretty bitter or like mayonnaise and stale personality. And regardless, just biting people is weird and it's just definitely not cool to do it. But before we get into it, be sure to press the like button, otherwise no joke, no scam, you're going to get bitten by your teacher. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the story time we have today was sent in by a person named Sam, and Sam is in 10th grade, which is a little bit older than you would expect biting to normally take place in. You know, like, if this was a story of back in 1st grade, it would make a little bit more sense. If somebody is biting in 10th grade, I'm not even sure if you can consider that a kid, dude. That might legally have to be classified as a snapping turtle or an alligator or something. Anyways, Sam was in a woodworking class, which was really fun to him. You know, he thought it was like a useful skill to learn, and he really enjoyed it. And in this woodworking class was like the instructor, foreman, teacher dude, who was this older gentleman. He was in his 50s. And he was a pretty much like a no-nonsense type of guy. He did not take kindly to people goofing off and messing around, which was fair considering that it was like woodworking and there was a lot of saws and power tools that could hurt people. I wouldn't say that's usually the best time to be goofing around a bunch, you know, that's just my personal opinion. It's not like he was completely incapable of having fun or anything, like he would still joke around with the class, it's just he wasn't really a big fan of people goofing off around saws. Which, in my opinion, is pretty fair. Like, I wouldn't want a trampoline park next to a table saw. That's just the truth. I don't want people jumping around next to equipment that can hurt them. And it's kind of confusing to me that that would be something that people would want to do. Like, I've never seen a table saw and been like, now's the time to go roughhousing. The fact that he had to be strict about it really does blow my mind. And there was really only one kid in the woodworking class, for whatever reason, who didn't seem to just be capable of understanding that people did not want to goof around and roughhouse around power tools. And we're gonna call him Billy because why not? That's the name that the kid said he had, so if this is you, I'm using your name. And Billy was the type of kid who's like always trying to get people to laugh, you know? He was always just trying to joke around and trying to be funny, and I say trying to be funny because it wasn't like he was really the class clown in any regard. It was more of like a cringe-inducing comedy type of thing. Like whenever people were laughing, they were laughing at him, they weren't laughing with him, you know? And a lot of people just found him really annoying and avoided him in this class because, like, the stuff he thought was funny really was not funny. Like, he would shove people when they were cutting wood, you know? If they were drilling something, he would, like, grab their shoulders and shake them. Sometimes he would walk up to people and, like, take their glasses and pull them off just while they were using a tool or something. It's like, dude, that's just not funny. He thought it was funny, you know, putting other people in danger, but obviously everybody he would do it to and everybody watching it just didn't find it as amusing as he did. And I don't blame him. Like, you know, I really think a lot of things are funny. I have a very varied sense of humor, but I don't think, like, putting somebody in danger on purpose, or especially putting myself in danger on purpose, is funny. Like, okay, hypothetically, your friend is wearing a suit of meat and you have the option to open the door to a tiger cage. You're a jerk if you do it. I mean, yeah, he's an idiot for wearing the meat suit, but if, like, you go out of your way to hurt them even more, it's just not funny. That was a very strange comparison I just did there, but whatever, we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna keep it moving. Anyways, one day they all come into class, the woodworking class. And the teacher says that they're going to be working with a new tool today and they have to kind of sit and listen to him so he can explain what they're going to be doing. And he says they're going to be using a lathe for today's project. And for those of you that don't know, a lathe is like this woodworking tool that's super dangerous. You like put wood on it and it spins and there's blades and it's a lot of like you can get caught in it and pulled in. It can cut you. Like there's just a lot of ways you can get hurt with it. And the teacher kind of explains that working with this is a privilege, you know, he can kick anybody out who doesn't take it seriously, and obviously, you know, they need to not goof around because this is a power tool, there's a lot of saws it's spinning, and it's a horrible idea to goof off. You know, most machines are really bad to goof off with if it can cut wood, but like this is especially something that he says they definitely do not want to be goofing around with. It's definitely not worth it. It could like kill them. And during this entire safety speech, this Billy kid is rolling his eyes. He's like trying to make jokes about how it's dumb and they don't really need this lesson. And everybody's literally ignoring him. They're not reacting to him at all, other than one person kind of like shushing him. And at one point, the teacher is like, hey, can you please be quiet? Like, you can talk as much as you want after this, but like right now, it's super serious that you guys just listen to how to use this safely so that way you guys don't get hurt. And Billy literally like rolls his eyes at him and is like, whatever, you know, just doesn't act like it's serious. And at that point, the teacher is like, okay, I'm gonna demonstrate how to do it. And so he goes, and for some reason, this is probably not the best way to demonstrate it, but it's what he did. He like turned his back to the class and started using the machine explaining what he was doing. And for some reason, bro, some stupid reason, Billy decided that this was the moment to troll. Yeah, I would go out on a limb and say anytime somebody is working with machinery that they just explained you should be very careful with because it can literally kill them is like not the time to be goofing around. But hey, I guess Billy is just an absolute genius, clearly way smarter than anyone on the planet. And so he kind of like walks up to the teacher and pushes him towards the machine. And the teacher was a really big guy, so he didn't really move much, but like it was obvious that he had tried to push him into the machine. Like you can't really go into it, but you guys know what I mean. And the issue is with this machine is, like I said, it's spinning really fast. So if you push somebody into it, chances are they can get like sucked into it, and that's just no bueno. So the teacher turns around pissed, like rightfully so, just absolutely furious because, I mean, he almost just got shoved into like a power saw. I don't think that anyone would be a happy camper with that. I don't think there's ever been an interaction that's gone like, bro, that's so sick that you just tried to shove me into this thing that could kill me. You know, it's totally cool. I'm not mad at all. I don't think that's ever happened. That seems very unlikely to me. So like he starts screaming at Billy, obviously, asking him what he's thinking, if he's an idiot, if he realizes that he could like have seriously hurt him. He's always goofing off. This is ridiculous. Like, he doesn't understand anything about safety. He thinks everything is a joke. And he had given Billy this speech a couple times before, and the entire time he's giving him this lecture, Billy is just kind of like not taking it seriously whatsoever. And then he says something that gets Billy very upset. He says, that's enough. That's enough. I don't want you in my class anymore. Get out, go to the counselor, and I don't care what class they put you in. You just cannot come to this one tomorrow. Like, I'm done. It's enough. And Billy, for whatever reason, like, thinks that, you know, that's not a fair punishment. He's like, dude, I was just kidding. Like, come on. Like, that's too far. Like, come on. I was just kidding. And the teacher is like, yeah, I just don't think that's funny. I don't think you thinking it's funny to start pushing people around power equipment is funny. Like, power tools are not a joke. And Billy is like, oh, look, dude, you barely moved, as if that makes it any better. Like, he admits to trying to push him into it. And the teacher goes, yes, I barely moved. But what if you go and you do this to another one of your students that's a lot smaller than me? Like, what's going to happen then? Are you serious? Like, you're just a liability. I can't have you around all this equipment and all these people. So get out. You cannot be in this class anymore. He's just done. He's going to kick Billy out. And Billy is arguing with him, and he just won't leave. So the teacher is like, if you're not going to leave, then I'm going to call your parents, and we're going to have a discussion about it, and you're still leaving my class. I was going to just let you move, but I'm done. I'm calling your parents. And that's when Billy goes from, like, arguing and upset to insanely upset. He starts crying at that point. And he's like, no, you can't do that. You can't tell my parents about this. You can't tell my parents about this. And he's like, no, your parents need to know about your behavior because this is ridiculous. You can't be running around shoving people around saws. All right, guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look at your screen right now, you will see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card every single time I upload here on this channel as a way to just say thank you to all of you guys for turning on those notifications and watching. So if you haven't already, you should subscribe and turn on those notifications. I literally give away free money, so you got nothing to lose. And yeah, if you already are somebody sub with those notifications on, then I really appreciate it. You're a legend. And I'll shut up and let you guys get back to the video. Thanks. So anyways, this is the situation. We have the kid who goofs around and is like literally trying to push the teacher into this saw, getting kicked out, very upset that he's now going to have to explain to his parents why all this is going on. And so they're arguing back and forth, and at some point the teacher has had enough, and he goes to remove Billy from the class because he's like, you're not leaving, you're just ruining the class for everybody now, so you gotta go, and goes to kind of just push him out of there. And I don't say push in an aggressive way at all. Like, it was literally like, okay, just kind of walking towards him, trying to herd him almost. Like, imagine like a herding dog, you know, trying to herd some cattle, herd a goat towards the exit. That's kind of what he's doing. But for whatever reason, Billy, when the teacher starts walking towards him, goes, don't come closer to me, like, don't come closer to me. And the teacher is like, get out of the class, get out of the class, like, you have to go. And Billy is like, I'm not leaving until you say that you're not gonna call my parents. And the teacher is like, dude, I'm gonna call your parents. It doesn't really matter. You're not getting out of that. Like, it doesn't matter how much you sit here and beg and plead. You're not gonna get out of that one. And at that point, realizing that Billy's just not gonna leave, he's not gonna get out of here, he goes to grab the phone to, like, call the school resource officer or, like, the school cop to come get him out of there, because that's what you do. If they won't leave, you do that. And so Billy, at that point, when he sees him picking up the phone, knows it's over and knows for sure that his parents are going to get contacted. So, like, in a last-ditch effort, I don't know if it was desperation or just going crazy, he, like, goes to do something to stop him from calling, and he runs towards the teacher, and, like, the teacher sees that and takes a step back, and Billy dives to, like, try to get him, but the teacher takes a step back, so he ends up kind of wrapped around his knees a little bit, and the teacher, like, pulls one leg out so he's not gonna fall down, and Billy, for whatever reason, decides, like, okay, tackling him failed, he still has the phone in his hand, decides to, like, bite him in the ankle. He was wearing pants, you know what I mean? And all they see is just, like, the pants kind of compress under Billy's teeth as he bites into the teacher's ankle. And the teacher yells, like, more in shock than hurt, it looks like. Just like, oh my god, like, this creature is biting me, bro. As I said, I don't really think you can classify it as, like, a kid at that point. It's like a snapping turtle. And he yells and he's like, get off me, get off me. And Billy is like, but you can't hear him saying no because he's biting the teacher. And he's like, no. He just keeps saying no, but his teeth are still on the teacher. And the teacher starts, like, shaking his leg to try to get him off. And the phone is connected at that point, and all I'm sure the office hears is, like, a teacher screaming, get off me, and then, like, a muffled no. So he's holding the phone, and, like, 2 minutes later, every, like, janitor, everybody rushes into this room. And Billy, in, like, the minutes that it took to get there, had just latched onto him and wouldn't get off. And the teacher didn't want to, like, kick him in the face, so it just hurt. And so they get in, and, like, with the force of everybody in there, they finally pry Billy off the leg of this poor teacher, dude. Like, rest in peace, your running ability. And he lifts up his pant leg, and, like, there's a giant teeth imprint of everywhere he had bit. It was almost like he was purposely not biting enough to, you know, like, break his skin. But yeah, he was latched onto that dude's ankle for, like, solid minutes. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand what he was thinking, dude. Like, all right, let's give him the benefit of the doubt for 1 second. He's super caught up in the moment, and just a fit of, like, going crazy, he bites the teacher, right? Like, whatever. That's still nuts. Like, you're still crazy for that, but whatever. But how do you end up, like, staying latched on for minutes and not realizing that this is crazy and pointless? Like, what was your ultimate goal here? To hold his leg hostage until they got you a flight to Argentina? So whatever, he gets separated off the teacher's leg, and they're obviously yelling at him, like, what are you thinking? Are you crazy? And the teacher's like, you need to get him out of here. The teacher, the woodworking teacher, is like, I need to not see him because I'm pissed. And listen, before anyone's like, man, a teacher should never be mad at a student. Okay, have a kid bite your ankle for minutes and then, like, not be mad. Obviously, at that point, the fact that he was calm enough to, like, ask them to take him out of the class is impressive. So he gets taken out of the class. Obviously, they don't really have much of a choice, and the entire class is just kind of sitting there in a stupefied silence. They don't really know what to say, what to think. Like, do you apologize to the teacher? Like, you guys clearly weren't involved at all because you're not idiots. And the teacher is just like, okay, well, that was certainly interesting, wasn't it? And the class is just kind of sitting there. Nobody answers. And they're like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And there was still a couple of the janitors and other people in the class. Like, they had taken the kid out, but there was still a couple people there. And the nurse gets to the classroom a little bit after, you know, I think she might have been waiting till they got the kid out of there. Like, they didn't want to bring her in there. And she comes in and she looks at the teacher's ankle and she's like, you need to go to the doctor because, like, not all of it is broken skin, but it looks like there's some in a few places. And, like, I just feel like you probably want to get that checked out, you know? And he's like, no, I'm not going. I'm going to finish teaching my class. Like, I can do this. And they're like, no, you need to go to the doctor, dude. So he's arguing with them. For some reason, this guy is, like, super dedicated to the woodworking class, man. Like, he's not quitting. Literally, he just got bit by, like, a walker from The Walking Dead. And he's just still trying to teach his class. So finally, they convince him to, like, go. And one of the teachers that's in there, like, or an office aide, I don't really know who it is, I wasn't there, is sitting there with them and is kind of, like, just sitting there awkwardly. Because the teacher left, they clearly didn't have time to get a substitute because you weren't expecting a kid to just bite this dude's leg and take him out of commission in the middle of the school day. So this random dude is just kind of sitting there not knowing what to say. And the class kind of starts talking amongst themselves about, like, oh my god, what just happened? Did we just see that right? Like, did he bite the teacher? Just trying to make sure that they all can agree that they saw something wild. And the guy who's in there with them kept trying to shut it down, like, guys, stop trying to spread rumors, stop trying to spread rumors. And they're like, dude, rumors? Like, we literally saw it. What do you mean? And, eventually the guy relented and just started letting them talk about it because he knew there was just no way this wasn't going to get out. Like, at first, I think they were in damage control mode. Somehow we'll keep it a secret that this kid was biting everybody. It's not gonna happen. Something like that is 100% getting out. I don't care how much you don't want people to talk about the crazy kid biting everybody. People are going to be talking about that. It's a proven fact. I mean, maybe not necessarily, but I guess this story time kind of proves that as a fact, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, moral of the story, don't bite your teacher. They don't taste good. That kid definitely got expelled. They never saw him again. So I guess in theory, he could be on a very, very indefinitely long suspension. But chances are that you get expelled for attacking a teacher. I don't think many other teachers at that school would be cool with you at that point. But, yeah, I just figured this was a pretty crazy story time. It's not every day that somebody sends in something like that, so I figured I would turn it into a video for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought. It really helps the video do better. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications so you never miss another video. I would really, really appreciate it. And, yeah, other than that, if you really want to help me out, you can use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. It's actually a 30% discount today, so you might as well go over there and use that. Get yourself a discount. And my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, is also found down below. And if you take a second to look at your screen, you'll see the coolest merch to ever exist in the history of the planet, which can also be found in the description, so go ahead and get yours. But, yeah, on that note, guys, I think that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys all next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.